I guess we
We
can.
share it out to a couple people. I know most people sleep by now. Like, I
Yeah,
know it's the
we're going
weekend, but
on
yeah,
the.
everybody's busy.
Yeah, we're good. We're on the Facebook and the YouTube. All right, you already know what it is, man. It's C3 the Wave Maker. We back with another episode of Wealth Talk. This time we cover networking. You know what I'm saying? Very important piece of
Mm.
business and becoming successful. I'm here with a few guests. We got Mr. Eric Alexander and Christopher Romero. We're going to give them a chance to introduce themselves and let you guys know what they got going on and where to find them. So go
Yeah,
ahead.
cooking with Ether, man. So I'm Eric Alexander. You can find me on Facebook as Eric Alexander, and once you get there, you'll see in my link tree all of my other channels of content and other opportunities that'll be coming to you soon. My main support channel is through Shop Art, so you can click on Art. That's my merch line, and it helps support a greater initiative. It connects to what we're talking about tonight with networking, where in which I've been expanding our global reach. As many of you may or may not know, I've operated as the systems administrator for a lot of decentralized operations in the past year, primarily, but over the course of the last 5. And I've also expanded into systems operations for epistemological study. And that's just pretty much all theories and forms of knowledge and how we come to know things. With that being said, I've applied it by finding different ways for us to educate people that can utilize our information practically. And lately, the latest, greatest success that I've had is educating a few people in Nigeria and Port Harcourt, Nigeria. You'll see more of their information soon too, and it's notable to mention because they made me moderator. So I'm a moderator for their channel. They've had exponential growth, and we've been discussing different reasons and methods for how to replicate that success. She went from in January of 2025, she went from 1,000 subscribers to now 165,000 subscribers. You know what I'm saying?
That's
So
insane.
short videos to live streams to interacting with people for real on WhatsApp and different social media platforms. The importance of networking cannot be understated. You know what I'm saying? So that's just one of the success points that should paint a good frame of reference for the rest of whatever I talk about today.
Right. All right,
Honors for having
Chris,
me.
you want to give them a little breakdown of what you got going on?
Yeah. What'd you say? What'd you say, Josh? You said networking is an understatement. What'd you say?
It cannot be overstated enough, but I did
Yeah.
say we should not understate
Yeah,
it.
I like how
Yeah,
you
I
said
mean,
that.
honestly,
I
it's
mean,
crucial.
yeah, man. My name's Chris. A business owner, investor, passive investor in crypto, active investor in crypto. Still getting into the real estate game, and that's about it. You can find me on Facebook. Uh, you know, what you said about marketing, I barely caught the understanding of that the other day.
Yeah.
I
The
barely.
network marketing. Well, I mean, it's like it's one of the most crucial and beneficial parts of business is network marketing. You get cross promotion. You get obviously your network gets bigger. It like say for instance like Josh and yourself are in my network, right? So when I do something, you guys get promotion. When you guys do something, I get promotion. So it's a mutually beneficial thing. So when you increase your network and you start to network market, it's like I'm promoting your guys' projects, you guys are promoting my projects, but overall, the entire network gets more money, more attention, and just
What's
more
crazy, I
more
learned it
influence.
during the most craziest ramp up, and that was during the time when Forex was becoming really popular. So 2019, 2020, Jalen Goss. I gotta say shout out to them because even though all of the Forex hype was there, they actually had an academy. So I actually learned because outside of the network marketing, they were like, yeah, go to the academy to do the research. You see what I'm saying? But from that, the main principle that they centered around was edification. And when I got a definition to the process of purposely, you know what I'm saying, highlighting the positive and some of the negative aspects in some cases of whatever it is you're doing, that puts people into a mindset that this is genuine because they can understand that you have the experience, you know what I'm saying, with the person, with the product, with whatever it is. And from there, whatever conversations come to them, even naturally, they can feel a little bit more trusting that, you know what I'm saying, this is being utilized or applied or it can grow. You know what I'm saying? Truly like planting a seed, like JoJo be saying all the time. So like I've been trying to spread that in my own little light ever since, you know, breaking off and really cultivating projects. But yeah, man, that goes back to how I would really utilize like a foreign billionaire. You see what I'm saying? It's a matter of arbitrage, but also mutually assured benefit. We have to be able to communicate that long-term growth plan and being able to create segments for what they already have that's working and how it can be magnified and vice versa. Because it's a matter of meta skills. What skills do we have that can be taught, passed on,
Exactly.
especially if you broke?
Exactly.
If you broke, learn the
And the
skill.
network is
If
so
you got some
important.
money, learn the arbitrage.
The network's so important because one person, even though we pride ourselves on being epistemologists and stuff, one person can't learn everything all at once. You know what I'm saying? So having a network of people that are specifically skilled in certain areas, it benefits you because now instead of me having to take all this time to learn this process or that process, I've got a network, I've got a team, I've got Eric who is, man, that's my systems guy, right? Like if I'm needing to take an idea and formulate it into a system that can start being monetized, Eric's, I mean, he's got it, right? So that's a system guy. We've got Nathan, that's our AI and coding guy. I mean, literally every time I talk to him, I think I know some shit. He starts throwing all these fucking algorithms and numbers and all this, and I'm just like, man, you lost me. You know what I'm saying? So we got a tech guy. Naeem, beautiful with digital marketing, promotion, stuff like that. We got Chris, who, man, I'm so proud of you, bro. A personal mentee of mine who just took the little bit that I showed him and just went to the stratosphere with it. You know what? Perfect time to go ahead and touch on uh, who did you have the pleasure of meeting with this week, Mr. Romero?
Well, got to meet Grant Cardone. Got to shake hands with him. Got to eat lunch with him. Got to eat breakfast with him. Got to spend about 20 hours with him.
Right. Now
You
think
know,
about this. There's only 900 billionaires in the United States total.
yeah,
900 in the entire country.
yeah. So he's like a unicorn, and he
Yeah.
should be treated as such for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And we were just there rubbing elbows,
yeah,
listening. And the coolest part about it, man, was this is a billionaire, Grant Cardone, you know,
yeah.
and you could interrupt him in the middle of his presentation. Like
Yes, you
he
can.
encouraged it. He was like,
Yeah,
don't
he
wait.
encourages it for
We're not
sure.
waiting. Like he's like, you know what I'm saying? And you got so this is a billionaire telling you it's cool, bro. Interrupt
Yep.
me.
He
Interrupt.
hands you the mic, and you got like 4 cameras on you too when you talk too. Yeah.
Yeah.
Hmm.
So he's downplaying it a lot. This man went to an investor conference, then he had private meetings and lunches and breakfast with billionaire real estate mogul Grant
And
Cardone.
it's cool. It's cool to be with Grant. But what the cooler thing is when Grant was like he basically singled me out because I already asked a question. He's like, look, man, what's your tax liability? What's your income? And he's like, if you're broke, just say you're broke.
Right.
And I was like, I'm
Right.
broke.
Well, that
And then
he's
yeah.
real.
And
He's
then he goes,
real.
guys, and then he's like, what do you understand about real estate? I told him I understand the underwriting, whoop de whoop, talking to the broker, doing the math. And then he's like, guys, how many of you guys want to work with Chris? And then people that are part of his club said, I'll work with him. And I walked away with 12 people's phone number. So that's why when Eric he touched on marketing, I mean yeah, on networking, I didn't understand networking, bro, until like a year ago this year.
I'm
I,
telling
I,
you.
I didn't understand it. And
I met with
do,
a personal friend of mine a few years back named Shane. He's I think he's on his sixth or seventh company, successful launch. So he started 6 or 7 different companies. I know for a fact that one of the companies, Name Tag Country, it did 6 million in revenue year before last, making name tags, right? So he, you know, obviously knows what he's doing when it comes to business and money and everything. And he told me years ago when he met me, that's what he said. He said, man, it's all about network marketing. He said, once you understand that, the rest of it is just going to fall into place. It's like the rest of it's kind of like a byproduct. Because think about it, all right, like you just said, it started with just going to an investors conference, for Grant Cardone. Then we got the opportunity to, actually get the private meetings and everything. That one networking opportunity turned into 12 different multimillionaire
And
investors.
I just got off the phone with both of them, right? One of them told me, he's like, guys, scroll down to the bottom of your contacts. I scrolled to the bottom. I said I have 200. He's like, I have 10,000 contacts, all brokers, all real estate investors. He's like, my contacts are your contacts.
Right. That's the
And I met
beautiful
with
part
another
about
one.
networking, man.
I
It's
met with
once
another
you
one.
actually are in the network, like you
Yeah.
said, my contacts are your contacts are my contacts, and
Yeah.
we all grow.
That's
My
powerful.
other, also, he's part of Grant, he's Grant Cardone's mentee. So he's with him every week, right? And then I got somebody else's number and he's like, Chris, I got money problems. I said, money problems. I said, what do you mean? Keep in mind he owns thousands of apartment buildings. So I'm like, a
You're just
unit.
like,
So
what?
I'm like, money problems. I said, tell me more. He said, well, Chris, I have millions of dollars sitting around, and he's like, I know about 1,200 investors. We all have a bunch of money sitting around, and it needs to get put to work. So he's like,
That's
if
the
you have a
kind of money
deal,
problems I'm
he's like,
talking
if you have a deal, if you think it's a deal, if build a relationship with the broker, bring it in. We'll get it. We'll submit the LOI, get it under contract, run the numbers, underwrite it, syndicate it out, raise the money, get the equity, close the deal, lease it out, get a property manager to manage it. On to the next.
exactly. You know what? I'm
Bro
gonna take
said I
this
need something
opportunity.
21st century. That's
I'm gonna take this
crazy.
opportunity just to let you know we are looking for FINRA members that are authorized to sponsor people. Uh, because I'm trying to take the Series 7 exam. I could pass it
I
right
did a lot of
now,
studying. I did
but
a lot of
yeah,
studying. I'm
a
ready.
lot. I just don't have a FINRA member to sponsor me, and it's kind of a members only club. I can't just go take the SEC Series 7 exam without sponsorship from a FINRA member. So if there are any FINRA members out there, I promise it would be a good idea to sponsor me. Like you would
If you
not
like
regret.
what you see, right?
Yeah,
You're trying to sell and deal with investment securities?
absolutely. Why not?
Okay. Awesome. That
Why
means
not? I
yeah.
mean, if we think about it, if we have our own licensed SEC broker, I mean,
Facts.
that's it, right?
That
That's
would
it.
be that would be like fidelity type stuff, stocks type stuff, right?
Yeah, yeah. It
Okay.
would give me the ability to actually deal in bonds. So I would be able to broker other people's stocks and bonds.
Got it.
Because like you can create a bond and use your own collateral and sell it, but you're not licensed through the SEC to sell other people's bonds and shit. That's why we have to use brokers. But if we have an SEC Series 7, licensed broker, we can do it ourselves.
Got it.
Facts.
Yeah. Matter of fact,
Interesting.
I sent the whole exam prep material in that Dropbox file that I shared. It's got the whole everything. It teaches you. I mean, from how new issuances of stocks are made, the chain of command and how it goes, the different types of stocks, um, municipal bonds, how they're used, funding and every. I mean, it gives you everything. The whole breakdown. Like a lot of that's where I learned that when they issue new stock, they have to go to the existing investors first, right? So if I bought 80, percent shares in this company when it first launched and they need new investment capital and they want to issue new bonds, when they come out with a new issuance, they have to go to me first and give me the option to keep my controlling percentage of the company. If I turn it down or refuse, then they can sell those to new investors, right? So it's really, it's a money game. Whoever got in first and has more money in it basically controls that stock.
Mm,
Yes,
yeah.
indeed.
And the
Yes,
only
indeed.
way you can get in the door is if I decide to let you, you know? So yeah, that's one big key that people need to understand about, the stocks. Everybody relies on technical analysis. Everybody, like all day traders and everything, they all rely on technical analysis. If you really know how the system works, don't you think those technical analysis signals could be used to direct you where I want you to go?
Indeed, narrative-driven
That's probably
analysis
why,
is
exactly. That's why
important.
95% of retail investors get eaten
Can you
alive.
repeat? Can you repeat what you just said, Alex?
I'm sorry.
Can you repeat what you just said right there for the people that don't know what that is?
So fundamental analysis is where, and narrative-based analysis. So it's pretty much where you're paying attention to what it is the company is supposed to be doing, like the MOU, the white paper, their fundamentals, right? Their outflows, how much money they have on hand, different investment strategies and funnels. And then you pretty much are able to cross-reference that with like reports in, let's see, CNN or wherever you get your news, and the opposing you feel me, aspects too, because you can gather the overall context or the narrative that the news or whatever channel, wherever the money is, you follow the money, right? Wherever their benefit lies is pretty much where they're gonna, you feel me, exploit information. And so from that overall context, you can gauge a better understanding of why it is and the timing of which the market moves. So that's why it's very important to combine fundamental analysis with the technical analysis.
Exactly.
Because
I'm glad that you brought that up. I didn't mean to dismiss
people
technical
just look at the
analysis.
technical aspect. No, people just look at it like this
it's
is all I
like
need.
that's
If
all I
all I
need.
know is the numbers, but numbers, they don't lie, but they manipulate. Numbers don't lie, but they manipulate. So
And he's
if
dead
you're
on with
looking where I want you to look.
the fundamental analysis. A good thing to do when you're, first of all, know what you're putting your money into. A lot of people will just jump on whatever stock they see is going up and hope for the best, right? They don't know anything about it. The first thing I do when I'm going to invest in a company, especially if I'm going to do like an IPO or something, I'm going to do due diligence and research in this company. I'm going to look at quarterly reports. I'm going to look at the 8K and the 10K reports. That's going to give you everything that you need to know about the business, loans, debts, revenue generated, what their tax filings are, trust structures. It's going to give you a full detailed breakdown of everything that this company's got going on. And so
Can
I'm
you
going
show
to
me how to launch or invest in IPO companies or pre-IPO companies? That's
yeah,
dope.
yeah. Man, I'm gonna tell you what, I'm so happy, man. I invested in this IPO 3 years ago. It was a pharmaceutical company based in
Is that the
Washington.
one that you said it didn't perform for like 3 years?
Yes,
Yeah.
yes. I did my due diligence. I read the reports. I was sure it was a winner. And so I bought into the IPO. It launched and fucking tanked, like did absolutely nothing. And for 3 years, every time I would log into that brokerage account and look at that shit, I would be like, I'm selling. And I kept just holding on, holding on, holding on. It's up 519% now.
Real spill.
Yeah. So it took 3 years, but I was right.
How much?
Hurt my pride a little bit,
If
man.
you don't mind me asking, what was your initial investment?
I bought 100 shares.
Yeah, you don't got to talk numbers, okay? But you bought
Yeah,
100 shares,
yeah,
okay? And those 100 shares was at 0%, you
yeah.
know,
The cool
and
thing about it is when I bought the in the IPO, it came with two warrants with the stock. So one was tradable and one was not. And that's the first time I actually had that happen. So I not only did I get the 100 shares of the stock, but I also got a tradable warrant. And then I'm still kind of looking into the other warrant that was non-tradable, and to kind of see what the functionality of that thing is. It kind of piqued my interest there because that's something new to me.
Those are the
If
types of
anybody
things that
has
I'm
any,
interested in tokenizing. For real, for real. You know what I'm saying? As this data and this information comes out, though, because I was learning about how in different countries, right, you get taxed twice because not only does the government want a percentage off of the platform because the platform is making money, but then they also want a percentage off of the earnings that you give to the individual. You know what I'm saying? So in America, while we have a lot of subsidies, breaks, that's why the consumerism is influenced us being the reserve currency means that, you know, our dollar has to be invested in assets that appreciate based off of the, you know what I'm saying, interest rates, and also, of course, the market. You feel me? But with that being stated, like, there's a couple of ways that I've been looking into, like, really maximizing that impact, like exchange traded funds. Kind of like what you're saying. My brother gave me a good investment a while back, maybe even before I started with the forex and before I started teaching. It's like 2018. He was telling me about Gush. It's an oil and gas ETF. So the ticker is GUSH, but it's down by like, I think like 5,500% in the past 5 years.
What's
But
the ETF?
What
an
is an
ETF
ETF?
is an exchange traded fund. So a bunch of companies get together that invest in different aspects, typically within the same sector, different aspects of a company or a business supply chain. And to launch an initial public offering, that's what an IPO is for those that don't know. You typically in the US need about $180 million. So let's say you got 80 million, the other homie got 20 million, the other homie got 100 million, so on and so forth. He's invested in oil, he's invested in gas, he's invested in drilling bits. Okay, cool. Y'all come together and you guys make an ETF. So the value of all of you guys' resources and the byproduct of those resources can be purchased, you know, like a stock. You get the percentage. The initial investors get a percentage off of whatever they invest, so on and so forth. And with that, it's a little bit more hedged against the performance of
It's a little
businesses.
safer for retail investors for sure.
Yeah. Kind of
It's a good
like
passive income stream, right? Like the
people that don't
S&P
know,
500. That's an ETF of the top 500 companies in the world. And the way if you were to invest into the S&P 500, the majority of the money you invest is going to go to the top 3 companies, right? And then the remaining funds will be distributed to all the rest. So you're really kind of, like he said, you're hedging your investment on the top performing companies in the world, right? It's a little definitely safer than penny stocks. Although you can make a lot of fucking money on penny stocks, because a lot of these penny stocks, like, you got to catch the right ones. You'll have like a OTC like stocks, right? That maybe they had a
that's a
bad
good
year
point,
last
bro.
year. Maybe they had a
That's a
bad year
good
last year. Maybe they were like a reputable stock that was like listed on the New York Stock Exchange or whatever. They had a bad year, you know, went into debt. They didn't meet the qualifications to still be listed as like a blue chip asset or something, and they dropped just
Sometimes they
below.
come together become ETFs as well.
Yeah,
Yeah,
they dropped
they'll
just
come together
below
to create
that
an ETF.
little margin and are technically classified as like an OTC stock, which makes them cheaper, more accessible, but they can still perform just as well as some of the, more reputable assets. So if you're, once again, it goes to due diligence, if you know what you're doing and you know what to look for, you can catch a lot of those, and then a lot of times is you'll invest in those while they're still like, a penny stock, and then they'll, have a good year. They'll get their budget together, and then they'll, repost it on the New York Stock Exchange, and you you know, end up with a winner. I've done that a few times.
Yeah, for sure. And I know a lot of times when companies go public, they look for, like, the initial investors look for their profits, but that goes back to, like, if a company isn't doing well in their own sector, they'll look to combine, and that'll make an ETF happen. But they can also, like, when they're making profits and they want to ensure that once they launch their IPO, they continue to make profit.
Exactly.
Then that's when they need, like, a broker. They need to have bonded insurance and stuff like that. Because, like, what we were talking about off camera, let's say something goes wrong with our supply line, right? Our underwritten shipment, you feel me, for whatever products we're going to arbitrage to and fro this country gets robbed by pirates. All right, now what? Who's liable for that payment? Who has the insurance? Who can bond the contracts for being unfulfilled for
What do you
either
mean who's
party? Whatever.
liable for the payment? What payment? Like when somebody invests in a stock?
No, let's say your shipment. Let's say you got an oil
Oh,
tanker
never mind.
and
Yep.
it gets robbed. You know what I'm saying? It gets blown up
Yeah.
or something like
Okay.
that. Well, like, who underwrites that contract, and being able to put people in place means that you can hedge your bet and the effect that, like, a negative consequence would have on your stock, on your public offering, on your, you know what I'm saying, supply chain. So at that point, when companies, even if they aren't doing well, there's still opportunities because like you want to buy the dip. Because like right after a company goes public, you know people gonna want to take a profit typically.
Yeah.
Unless
It's just like
fundamentally,
and a lot of this correlates to crypto too. Like
yeah,
a crypto pre-sale is basically like an IPO.
essentially.
It's giving initial investors, an early head start to get it. Usually, the pre-sale is going to be at a cheaper price than what the token launch price is. Usually, if you're an initial investor, you'll get added rewards, or you'll get bonus tokens, or you'll get insider circle, investment tips or news about the projects or whatever. But it needs to be handled the exact same way. Right. You like a lot of people I know it's fun as hell to get on Pump Fund and invest in all those meme coins. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? But you're taking a risk if you're not like researching these companies and these projects and see if you actually go and look up a lot of these domains and a lot of these pre-sale projects and shit, you'll see that most of the paperwork's redacted. There's no clear trail back to an actual owner or team. Most of the website domains are just bogus as hell. A lot of times, what will happen with crypto, especially, is they'll have a lot of paperwork documented and verified, but as far as like actual on-chain activity and things that are going to
It's
let you
breaking
know
up.
whether or not this is a safe project to invest in, nobody's doing that. So you know what? We decided we'll fucking do it. So we created Ethosify, and it's going to be the first digital verification services company that is designed specifically toward verifying a lot of these. And we're only going to verify on-chain activity. So only on-chain activity. I don't care about your paperwork. I don't care about your business structure. I don't care about all that bullshit. Like we're verifying peer-to-peer transactions, liquidities, token burns, on-chain, sales, distribution, and we're doing it too. Like shit that's been locked for 180 days or more. We're looking for key indicators that this is a safe project to invest in. Right? We're not trying to get into a bunch of pump and dumps. You know what I'm saying? Now we ain't trying to lose money, and that's one thing is it's really hard to determine whether or not a project's going to do well. Like BlockDAG, for instance. It's been in pre-sale for a while. It's raised over what $450 million in the pre-sale. Right? I mean,
Insane.
that's huge. That's huge, and you can actually trace a lot of this stuff back, and you can just see in the project that a lot of that initial money that has been raised in the pre-sale has been put back into the project, whether it be through liquidity in the token, net
Their marketing.
opportunities, marketing, huge. You know what I'm saying? So those are kind of things you want to look for, and you can literally audit a lot of this stuff yourself. That is the beautiful thing about.
Unpopular opinion too. Y'all need to look into projects that failed. Look into
Yes,
projects that failed because there's a reason
yes,
why. Don't replicate the failures. Be able to analyze why it didn't work because some things work, but at a different time. Some things work when they're
Interesting that you
paired
say
with,
that.
yeah.
Interesting you say that. What's the name of that show where they kill everybody, where they stop moving, and it's like a little game show?
Oh, Squid Games.
Squid Games, yeah.
Yeah,
Guys? What happened with the Squid Games token?
right.
I don't even remember.
What
I didn't know
happened?
nothing. I didn't watch Squid Games.
Yeah.
Okay, let's go on Google right now. What happened with the Squid Games crypto token? Let's go on Google.
All right, I'm gonna share the screen then.
Okay,
Yeah,
even
share
better.
your screen. Yep.
All right, there we go. Mhm. You guys can see the screen. Oh, that's why the latency issue. Loans, liquidity pools, aggregators, Coinbases, NF domains, Zooms, Facebooks. Yeah, no wonder it was saying bandwidth. All right, so we're just gonna Google it.
It'll be the first thing AI right there. AI overview will tell you right there.
All right, here we go.
speaking, I brought up Alex, Josh. Pay attention to coins that failed, right?
Yes.
Hello?
All right. Here it says the short version. The original Squid Games token was a massive rug pull in 2021. The developers vanished with millions. A new community run version exists today, but it has no connection to the Netflix show and trades at a tiny fraction of a cent. So in 2021, the token was a scam. That's what you call a
Yeah,
rug pull. That basically
yeah,
means they get a bunch of people to invest in it, and then once they get all the money invested in it, they drain the token and disappear. It launched in
yeah.
2021, went viral because of the Netflix show. Its price skyrocketed to $2,861 per token before collapsing to zero when the developers drained liquidity and disappeared. What a bunch of idiots, man. Look at that. They got the token to $2,861 and then rug pulled it. Like, what are you thinking? That's retarded. You know how much more money they would have made if they would have just kept that shit going?
They left the country.
It's retarded. But, whatever, to each their own. Investors were unable to sell their tokens due to built-in restrictions. So these are the things we're talking about. You got to be careful with this. Like when you create a token, depending on where you create it, you can add a lot of functions like freeze, clawback. If you don't know what that is, freeze is, say if I create a token and I add freeze and clawback, that means that at any point I can freeze all the tokens. So you could go spend $100 million on this token and I could freeze it to where you couldn't do shit with it. Or worse than that, I could claw it back. So you could buy $100 million worth of this token, and then I could literally claw it back from your wallet back to the creator wallet. Those are like
That's what I was explaining
protocols.
to our people in Nigeria today.
Yeah,
What
those are
clawback is
protocols
and
that
why
you
that's
can just
important to look
add.
for.
You can, if I'm building the token, or especially if I've created the D app that is allowing people to build tokens on a blockchain, I can make it do whatever I want. Right. So if you don't know what the hell you're doing, and you come onto my platform and you go, doing a bunch of shit, spending a bunch of money. I mean, I could do you any old kind of way, you know? That's crazy though. I didn't even know about this. The developers cashed out and vanished, taking an estimated $3.38 million. Deleted immediately. The event became infamous crypto scams of the decade. Yeah. Perfect example, right? And that's what people do, man. They literally, well, okay, look at that, right? That is a classic example of how everybody thinks crypto's a scam, right? They all
Yeah,
say
well, yeah,
it's a scam, it's a scam. And I've always said this, most of those people running around yelling crypto's a scam, you didn't get really scammed, or maybe you got scammed, but it only happened because you didn't fucking know what you were doing.
yeah. And
You know,
can anybody here tell me what percentage from since crypto has been out? I only have the statistic until like 2023, right? But can anybody tell me what percentage of every single project was a scam?
right.
What do
That's
you guys
crazy.
think? What percentage? What ratio you guys think?
Of the
60,
Do you think it was 60% from
60%.
since crypto
About
has been
60.
born to 2023 that 60% has been scams?
I don't think it's
Since
that
it's been
much.
born, I can see about 60%.
It wouldn't
Yeah,
surprise
you're
me.
pretty much close. You're pretty close. It's 72%. So
So think about that. 72% of all crypto projects are
that's
scam.
that's a real statistic.
Right.
So
And then you got what, 6 or 7% of the world is actively investing in crypto. So that means the
Wow, what does that say?
out of the
seven
6% that is
percent.
actually investing, like 72% of you are getting fucked over. That's
Yeah.
Oh,
pretty
that's
crazy.
interesting. That's probably why rich crypto geeks don't invest in other crypto geeks. That's interesting.
Yeah. Yeah.
Says something about the culture of crypto too, or its original intent, its use
Well,
case.
if
But
you
I
talk
really
to
want to
any
follow
older
the original
traditional
white
investor,
people.
that's what they call it. They say it's a crypto is a scam or it's for money laundering.
It
Like,
was
as a matter
really
of
for
fact,
peer-to-peer investment, though, right?
almost every Forex and like older stock trader that I talk to, they say the same thing. That's what they say. A bunch of fucking money launderers.
You know what I'm
Hey,
saying? It's depending on how you use it and how you seen it get used. But when it was originally used, like if it's easy to pay somebody, yeah, and if it's done perfectly and it's legal, and I pay you for a car, and now I give a car to my daughter for her 16th birthday, like nobody reports those crypto transactions. Nobody cares about them because they did their actual job. It was peer to peer, private. Nobody really needs to know unless they know your wallet address or whatever the case may be. And why would they check it? It's not illegal to buy a pizza with Bitcoin and then be mad about it 10 years later. You
right.
feel me? It's
That's
it's
insane.
it's these types of things go under the radar in terms of the original use case. But I feel like there was a reason why too, because even Larry Fink said one day, "Oh, I was wrong. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's the right
He
way.
bashed
We're gonna get him."
Bitcoin ever since it first started. Said it's bullshit, it's a
Mhm.
scam, da 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 da. Now the largest holder of
He
Bitcoin.
went to when he went to one WEF meeting, they sat down there was like, "Look, guys, we're gonna make so much money." He said, "Oh yeah, yeah, look, y'all should
Yeah,
buy
this is bullshit. Don't do it. Don't invest
Well,
in it.
Grant
And the whole time he's stocking up on Bitcoin.
Cardone,
And now he's up there
Grant
on stage
Cardone
like,
has a twin brother, named Gary
Hmm.
Cardone. Okay, so you gotta understand, Grant Cardone was against Bitcoin too. He used to tell people, "Oh, you bought the bit? Why'd you buy the bit?" Okay, years pass, years pass, years pass. Boom, he said, "Oh my God, this is the next big thing." Not that doesn't mean you're gonna catch on to stuff
right,
when you first see it.
exactly.
It doesn't
And that's why I always
Cardone.
pat myself on the back. I
You're not gonna
got
see
videos
stuff.
recorded in 2017 talking about some, yo, this is how we're gonna do it. Y'all need to watch China and Russia. And I was
I'm
going
telling you, man,
crazy. You know
I
what I'm
was
saying?
totally like, I wasn't against crypto, but I was just like, that's a new thing. I got these surefire traditional investment ways of making money. Like I'm gonna just stick with this, stick with this, stick with this. But when I got in there, when I got with Walt and Eric and everything, and got in there with Block Cycle and seen the potential, it was just like boom. My whole mind just like exploded with possibilities, and I was like, oh my God. And there is no way I will ever not invest in crypto. Like it's just no. But I know what I'm doing. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Oh, speaking of like
As long as the internet
it's like up
exists,
a
G,
thousand
you should
percent
have a
volume
way to
over
be
the
getting
last
paid
day.
directly to you.
Yeah, it's immediate transactions if you're using the right chain. Um, it can be sent anywhere in the world. For the time being, it's pretty much unregulated for the most part. Regulation is definitely coming. You know, taxation is definitely coming. But right now, it's still kind of the Wild West. Um,
Yeah, but it's awesome, but you can't see. This is the thing. You can't offset your tax liability with it. You know, like if you
well,
invest in
I've
a real
actually
Yes, you
been
estate
can.
deal,
working on a
if
couple little strategies to do that. Um, there's a
And
couple.
JoJo put us
I've
onto a
actually been
couple as
looking into
well.
this tax loss harvesting too, which is where you actually purposely take a loss on investments to offset other investments that you took, realized gains on. And it's called tax
let me
loss
tell you
harvesting.
what I learned. Let me tell you what I learned. Because somebody told me, showed me how to Grant showed me how to not pay taxes. Okay, so let's
Hit
say
me.
you make 100,000 a year. Okay, you have a $30,000 tax liability, right?
Right.
You have 50,000 to invest, and you invest in a syndication, commercial real estate, a syndicated real estate deal, right? Your tax liability is now zero
Because it's syndicated.
because of the depreciation.
Mm.
Let's go on Investopedia. Let's look up
See, I always
depreciation.
did. I would always like do the what is it? 1031 or the swap 1031 or
Yeah,
309.
the
Yeah,
1031 exchange. So
yeah, the exchange
when you
where
sell that property for another
you just
property,
put that money into another investment and now you don't.
and yeah, so now you handled your
How
tax
you can get from
liability
the
on the
equity
back
on the
end,
tooling?
Yeah,
and
and then the cool thing is as long as you keep doing that, I believe that if you ever did realize the gain off of that, you're just going to realize that the whatever that initial or that end investment is. I think you actually can avoid the tax from the properties before the exchange.
Yes. When you decide to pull out and consume it, you're gonna have to
You
handle
know,
the tax on that. You could have a
Yeah.
church or a
that's
ministry. There's ways to go
interesting
about it.
that you say this though, Chris. Because one of the solutions that we have is actually for when you, well, at least in America, and I was debating or trying to decide like how to approach it in different countries. Because in America, our code allows us not to pay taxes on borrowed money. You know what I'm
Or
saying? So
debt.
when you have
Yeah.
Right. So that's the best way to do it, man. If you realize a
a
game,
private bank, if
immediately
you're
take
borrowing
that.
from your own crypto, you're not getting taxed on that.
Yeah.
You mean if you
Exactly.
borrow against it?
Yeah. Because
Yeah, I
then
mean,
it's
yeah.
credit.
If you got
Yeah.
Bitcoin, if you got 100, I'm gonna talk money, not coins. Okay.
Right.
If you got like let's not be broke, but let's say you have 300K in an asset like Bitcoin, right? If you can borrow and let's say you're getting taxed at your job, if you can borrow against that Bitcoin and you throw that into a real estate deal, okay, you didn't sell your Bitcoin, you borrowed against it, you didn't get taxed. You invested in a syndicated deal. When you invest in that deal, you get a tax form called a schedule. It's like a Schedule K. You give that tax form to your tax strategist. You didn't sell your Bitcoin. Your money's earning over here, and now your tax liability is zero.
And now I'll take it a step further. If you put
And
all of
that would
that
be a segment.
into a self-directed checkbook controlled Roth IRA, you can now invest in real estate through
Through that.
a Roth IRA.
Yep.
And if you don't know what an IRA is, it's pre-taxed on the money you put in, right? So the money that you're putting into the IRA has already been taxed. So nothing generated in the Roth IRA is taxable as long as you wait until, a lot of time to pull it out. So the guy that started PayPal with Elon Musk, he had
PayPal
fifteen
Mafia.
Peter
hundred
Thiel?
dollars. He had $1,500 in an IRA. Now he's got like hundreds of millions of dollars in an IRA, and the government can't touch it. And so a lot of people don't
That's a
realize that. They
fact.
think that with a Roth IRA that all you can do is just invest in, stocks and bonds and like that. But if you actually have it converted to a checkbook controlled self-directed Roth IRA, now you're able to invest into real estate and other assets.
Yeah.
And I actually have a company, what's the name of Monarch? Monarch will actually
Yes, Monarch
set one up.
IRA
Yeah,
through
they will
tax
set
lien
one up
code
for you
and
for
Brian
1,500
Peterson.
bucks, man.
Yeah.
Make it
Does Merrill Lynch
self-directed.
do it? Because I remember Merrill Lynch had a self-directed one. I don't
I
know if they do
believe
the
so. I believe so.
interesting.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
mean, I'm gonna tell you like this, man. You got your Charles Schwab, you got your Merrill Lynch, you got your Fidelity, whatever your weapon of choice is. Um, um, go hard when you're
Yes.
looking into these. When you're looking like, who am I gonna put my money with? Be like, why them and not them?
Exactly.
Why am I going with Fidelity and not Charles Schwab? Um, you know,
Yeah.
Fair enough.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, that's just a great piece of advice for anybody trying to invest in anything. Know what you're doing, right? Like it to me is the most insane thing ever to just take some money that you're trying to compound or increase and just throw it at something like
Even more so, any
getting.
of the time you're trying to compound and increase. Please understand, y'all. Trust but verify.
Yes,
Trust but
yes,
verify.
yes, especially, and you would think that, okay, so people, when you try to get them pushed toward investing, they always act like they don't have enough money, they don't have enough time, and all this is so hard, and I can't. So you would think if everybody's mentality on investing is like that, you would think they would be more careful when with the money that they do decide to invest, but they're just as careless with the money they invest as they are with the frivolous spending. It's insane, man. It's crazy.
I
Like
have
I
a blog
always,
post coming out on that because I really write about the fear and greed index and how that became an indicator overall and why that transcends
can you say that
throughout
again?
time. You know what I'm saying? Throughout time, you see fear and greed being used as a measure of the predictability of people, economies, charts, from, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And it's just
Can
interesting
you
how we
explain?
just
Can you
make
explain that though for
Well,
people
it's
that
like
don't know what a
FOMO.
fear greed index is? Can you explain that, please?
Yeah. How would I explain this best? So when I was looking at the fear and greed index, it's literally a matter of how do people feel overall about their position in the economy, with whether their earnings, their interest rate, you know what I'm saying, their ability to get a job. So when they say their ability to get a job, but it's also some other, you know what I'm saying, real like measures that they incorporate into the fear and greed index. I'm forgetting off the top of my head right now. Outside of that, though, it overall measures exactly what it's talking about, though. Throughout
Right.
time, what it measures, the actual formula, it's changed a little bit, right? Because, you know, shipping becomes a thing, phones become a thing, so on and so forth. But overall, it's a matter of, do people feel secure enough to say, here's my money for an item I have to wait for? Here's my governance, here's my vote for something that I expect to see later on, right? And from that index, that's how the economy is moved predictably. You see what I'm saying? Like the relative strength index is another indicator that's a good example, right? So when you see money flows, if people are scared that institutional investors are going to come in and they're going to take up all the money from us retail investors, and they start taking their money out, that's fear. If they say, big money don't realize Bitcoin is the way, we're going to put all our money in there right now, there's greed. So when the money goes all the way up and you reach the top, that's when people are like, oh, Bitcoin is going up, I need to buy it now. You're being greedy. You know what I'm saying?
So what
So
you're
when it
saying is
starts selling,
greed is bullish and fear is bearish. Is that what you're saying?
in certain cases, but the interesting thing about the fear and greed index is it's bi-directional. It doesn't matter the direction of the market, even if it's going
Oh,
up
I
or
get
down.
you. I get you. Okay,
So
interesting.
it could swap the roles. You see what I'm saying? And it's really based off of the position that the individual has in the economy and how they feel relative to their position. And those combined numbers is what gives us the index or the indicator of, if I was in this position, would I be putting money in or would I be taking money out? And whichever shoes you put on, institutional or retail, let's say big money, little money type stuff, whatever shoes you put on, you can say, all right, this person's being greedy, a middle class income earner trying to get in on the Bitcoin wave, or big money saying, I'm about to pump and dump. You know what I'm saying? The person who created this wallet just put in $1 billion into this token. I'll be like, man, let's see what you're trying to do. You know what I'm saying? Now, if it's
You're
dispersed,
saying if all of it, if
it's
the
cool.
majority is owned by one person, yeah, that's risky.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
Yeah, you
yeah,
have got
yeah. I
to
get a
look
little.
at, that's another big thing with crypto too, is token circulation, right? When you send tokens from the creator wallet and distribute it to other wallets, your market cap will actually increase, right? Because your market cap has a lot to do with token circulation, price of the token, volume of the token, and all that. And the more percentage of the token like the creators hold, like the like the more sus it is, really. You know what I'm saying? Like if I see a token, I don't care if it's got $15 billion in it. If 80% of that token is in the creator wallet, I'm not putting anything in it.
And you know, that goes back to the narrative action and the pressures that make people do things in the market. Like, here's another example I think will paint a perfect picture too. If here's the thing that happened recently, right? So I'm not to get political, but we kidnapped the president from another country, right? And the market started to price in, oops, that we're doing something in Venezuela. And it's interesting that even if it takes 10 years for us to break the soil down, get those workers back in, get them contracted, train people and everything, the markets have already priced in, you know what I'm saying, the effects of that oil. So it's a matter of psychology, and that's a buying opportunity as well, or fear of greed opportunity as well. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Because how soon, how predictable, how much is the supply chain reliant on that money that's coming in as a result of people's psychology? You see what I'm saying?
exactly.
How much of that is subjective to, you feel me, their own, that its own consequence, and vice versa. So understanding the context allows you to understand overall, like is this a project that's worthy? And that's like I was explaining this to somebody earlier today. Pretty much like, and as an indicator, I am looking for how close people are staying to their white papers or to their MOUs, to their privately placed investments, or to, you know what I'm saying, whatever is publicly available, just to see if, you know what I'm saying, it's on track for one, but also to see if it's supported by the climate it's surrounded by. You know what I'm saying? Because some things can be just ahead of their time, quite simply.
That's true.
And some things can just be needing a partner, segments.
Well,
you know what I'm saying?
let's Solana, for instance. You know, it was in pre-sale for 3 years. A lot of people don't realize that. A lot of people don't know Solana was in pre-sale for 3 years and really never did anything until the whole Google thing. And that's when it jumped and took off, right? So, and now Solana is one of the biggest, projects out there in crypto. And so think about that. 3 whole years it was in a pre-sale. And wasn't really making a whole lot of noise. And then boom, one partnership changed the whole project. You know what? We might as well go ahead and touch on it because you already brought that up. So, lack of knowledge and due diligence in projects is one of the main reasons why, retail investors lose money. The other is, like you said, emotion, fear of missing out. I've done it myself, and with stocks. When I first started investing, I had, I had like a system, and as long as I stuck to that system, it never did me wrong. But I set my limit order to sell at, I think it was like $5 or $6, right? It hit the mark, sold, great. I made money, made like a good little bit of money on that. But it kept going and went up to like $12. So I sold it like $6 or $7 a share, and it went up to $12 like that at the same exact time. And I was so pissed off at selling early, even though I made money on the deal, but I got so in my emotions and so pissed off that I didn't make double, that the next day I set my limit order, and right as it was about to hit and sell, I changed it and I upped it. And it got like 3 cents away from my limit, and then just the bottom dropped out, man. So not only did I lose all that money, I lost everything that I made the day before on that trade, all because I was fear of missing out. I didn't want to sell early again. And so that emotion, it fucked the whole move up. So you got it, and that's the good thing about being confident in the research you're doing on these projects and the investments, is you can breathe easy. You can sleep well at night because you have a pretty confident and good indication that you made the right decision because you knew what you were looking for, right? And so that's the big thing, man, is lack of knowledge and letting your emotions get the best of you. Everybody logs on, they see red, they get scared, they sell. Somebody like me waits on you.
I know everybody has a different spiritual belief, right? So I'm not gonna bring it in too crazy, right? But I do want to say I want to bring a little bit of the holiness in here, right? Being able to have discernment.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? Being able to understand and to pick and to choose and to understand the weight of that is very, very impactful. And it goes back to something that I think is very, very deeply spiritual. I feel like it's good to train your brain and to also pick your battles. You know what I'm saying? Especially if it's something that's financial and it can benefit you. But if it's already for sure going to benefit you more than not doing something, just make sure that you're doing it with an educated, you feel me, air around you. You know what I'm saying? So that way you can attract others on the same time.
Don't take advice from people that aren't doing better than you or doing something that you're trying to accomplish or, making steps toward bettering themselves. The worst thing you can do is go tell a big dream to a small-minded person. They're going to kill it. They're going to kill it, bro. They're going to tell you you're crazy. They're going to tell you you can't do it. They're going to give you all the reasons in the world why you should give up, right? So that's another thing,
Sometimes slowly in a way that's convincing. Sometimes slowly in a way that's convincing.
Exactly. And that's the worst thing. And that's one thing I realized when I first started like making changes in my life and actually started to do all of these things that everybody says you can't do, is that's exactly what happened. And it was the people close to me too. That's what was crazy. You know, it's like I would have people in other countries that I didn't even know that would be the most supportive and amazing people and just encouraging and motivational. And then the people right here in my hometown, right here in the house, right, like people I've known my whole life would do everything in their power to make me think I was crazy, or you should just go get a job, or you should just, give it up. It's never going to work, And I don't know if it's just like from just the fear of like being left out, or if you doing better makes them feel worse about them not doing shit with their life, or what the whole thing is. But that's a piece of advice I just give to you. You got to be okay with being crazy. You got to be okay with being isolated. You got to be okay with losing friends. You got to be okay with changing your environments. You got to be okay with your family not agreeing with what you're choosing to do with your life. You know what I'm saying? You have to be okay with being alone, because most people aren't going to get it. And the thing I can say about that is of course everybody else doesn't get it, right? God didn't show it to them. He showed it to you. That's why you see the vision.
Yes,
They don't. If he wanted them to see it, he would have showed them, but he showed you. So, like you said, that discernment and just having that spiritual divine protection over you. When you're really walking in your purpose and you're telling the truth and you're doing what you say and you have pure intentions, all this money and all that other shit is just a byproduct, man. It's going to come. You will attract everything you need.
I will say something that I had to work on this year. You know what I'm saying? And this year so far that I'm very proud of, because this is what our first podcast for 2026. Still, like, in frame of reference, in terms of context, it really painted a picture of how fast things can grow and how explosive things have been offline. Right? It's one of those things where it's like not only the positive intentions, but some of the lessons that's been sprinkled in that we've been growing along the way have been things that are going to be, you know what I'm saying, intergenerational. You see what I'm saying? And with that ability to discern and to pick and choose and do the things that are how should I say, like, not necessarily handed on a platter to you, but you worked for. You feel me?
I mean,
People be thinking
it's almost
as an a
platter,
reward.
really. It's like when you really start fulfilling that purpose and walking in that light, man. It's like it's happened to me a bunch recently. It's like I'll be worrying or stressing about this project or about this money for this budget or whatever the case may be. Oh, I really got to get this done, and I'll be so stressed out about it, worrying about it, and then right around the deadline, right around the time it needs to be paid, or it's just like it just happens.
That's what I was
It's
gonna say.
like
I've been stopping. I had to stop myself from overextending it to, like, people cut themselves off for me now, and that's something that I'm more appreciative of, because I've become so clear in my initial, you know what I'm saying, engagements. That now when people see, like, all right, this is a dead end, they be like, all right, I'm gone, and I'll be like, all right, I'm not gonna chase it no more. Sometimes
right.
when I do, I'm shown that, all right, this is why it's a good thing. You're able to, you feel me, cool
That
off and all that good stuff.
patience,
But when
that
it's love, I'll
patience.
show you it's love. Yeah, I'll show you it's love. I'm always gonna show it's love. But if you can't accept it, that's on you. And I no longer question that. You know what I'm
And that's
saying? They say you
okay,
can only,
man. People
yeah,
you like it is okay to have boundaries. It is okay to say no. It is okay to say,
there
you
we
know what?
go.
That's just not the right project for me, right? Like there's nothing wrong with it. Like people are so like
Focus
afraid to stand out or make any noise. It's so crazy. It's like, the squeaky wheel gets the oil, man. That's what my grandpa told me a long time ago.
I've heard that all day today. That's crazy.
Yeah, my grandpa told me that a long time ago, and at first I was like, "What the hell are you talking about? Wheels and oil? Like what?" You know what I'm saying? But like it's the truth, and that's what I tell my children. Don't ever be afraid to ask a question. Don't ever be afraid to speak your mind. Don't ever be afraid to set a boundary. You know, those are all
Learn from
necessary parts.
experience.
Yeah,
Apply it. Apply
try
it
it.
from
You'll love it.
experience.
You will
You know what I'm
love
saying?
being like boundary setter and like having a goal and a plan and a system and sticking to your, discipline, dude. Discipline to be like, nobody else really gets this. Everybody else, thinks I'm crazy, but I know it's going to work. So I'm going to follow this plan. I'm going to do
Man,
what
I'm so mad I was 14 years old in 2014. You know how much Bitcoin I could have bought, bro?
I know, dude. Do you know how much Bitcoin I did buy? Like a bunch. And I spent it on stupid shit on the dark web. Idiot.
See?
Trying to make some money. Like what?
Bitcoin. Yeah.
All I had to do was just wait. Just be patient.
See, that's what I'm saying. They
Rushing it, man,
push
in
the
a
use
hurry.
case of
Yeah.
it to be what? For one thing, and that's it.
Yeah, don't
And if you
like
push the use case for it to be this, people use it.
Yep.
You know?
Yep. And you gotta
That's crazy,
you gotta
bro.
take some risks, man. You gotta take some risks. And like the theme of today's episode, network, man. Get out there, shake some hands, ask some questions, do some interviews. You know what I'm saying? Put some proposals together. Jeff Bezos started selling books out of his garage. Right? That's literally where Amazon come from.
Now he's helping gather data for Israel to assassinate and do homicide.
Right. Selling books out of his garage. And now he's got robot trucks and
It's so wild. It's so wild.
Yeah, that escalated so quick. Whoa.
De-escalated so fast.
Bro. Yeah, dude. Well, I mean, think about it, dude. A brilliant, ingenious vision that guy had. Nobody was doing that. Nobody was doing e-commerce back then. Nobody was shipping shit, directly to the customers. That was a brilliant idea. Netflix. I'm an idiot. I fucking when Netflix first came out, they were sending you DVDs, right? And I was like, this is a terrible business model. Like they're gonna lose so much money. Like nobody's gonna send the DVDs back. If they do, they're gonna be fucking broke and scratched and all this shit. I was like, this is just stupid. I was like, what they should do is they should fucking stream it like they do the music. If they start streaming these, then they'll fucking make billions. And then they actually started doing that, and I still didn't invest. Like,
this makes me want to invest in Waymo. Because I don't believe in these dang self-driving cars at all.
Man, I'm not gonna even own. Like those Teslas are nice and fast, and the reaction time is beautiful. But dude, I just don't want a car that could lock the door and drive me to the police station. You know what I'm saying? Like, no,
I've seen them get bricked in parking garages. Like, I've seen them get flood damage and never turn on again. I've seen them because of
well, they're notorious for bursting into flames.
The DSM.
Yeah.
The DSM. People don't know about this.
Yeah,
Tesla is built with its own AI that's specific to the vehicle, and each part that's equipped on that vehicle. You see what I'm saying? So when you try to do your own maintenance, and when it comes to synchronizing all of the systems and all of that good stuff, refurbishing these cars,
and then think about it. He's got his own power grids. So the Teslas are running on their own power grids and shit. Their own AI specifically for the, what I mean?
Charging port different, yeah.
It's a little scary, dude.
Yeah.
It's a little scary.
Look, man, anything that when it gets hit, the doors are locked and I can't get out because there's no physical.
Yes, no.
You know what I'm saying? I'm just a little concerned, and there's the car needs to come with a window breaker. Is all I'm saying, bro.
Yeah,
that's
it. Needs to come. You know what it needs? It needs to come with like an override button, right? To where I can fucking just say,
a little lever.
Yeah, a little lever, a little toggle, a little pull switch, something to where I can say, "Fuck you, AI. I'm driving this car." And like
I'm gonna have a Tesla with a G-body interior conversion. I'm gonna have a Chevy Caprice interior on a.
That's what I was about to say, dude. I'm gonna have me an old school Chevy, like with like no fuses and like all that, dude. It's crazy.
And 2 Tesla motors, huh?
Yeah, now it's just ridiculous, dude.
This is fact.
Just ridiculous.
I saw a guy.
People just wanted too much comfortability.
K car.
What is it?
Yeah, bro. It's a dude in Detroit who's building a Tesla powered K car. I think it's 4 motors on it, but he bought an entire facility, an entire abandoned car factory. You feel me? And he's like, well, look, man, I'm gonna start making affordable vehicles. And I looked into it, like there's a lot of different passes. Like if you notice, other people from other countries will know they have smaller vehicles there. They have K cars class vehicle. So like you know what I'm saying? It could fit 4 people, but it's got like 80 horsepower, like a Honda Fit. You know what I'm saying, or stuff like that. The size comparison of American vehicles to cars overseas is crazy, G. Like a Hummer cannot fit on a lot of different European streets. You see what I'm saying? But or Japanese streets and mountain passageways. You see what I'm saying? But that car class as a consumer vehicle would be perfect for rural areas in America. So that as an investment strategy or as a structure or as a route is coming here as well. So I'm like, bro, it's really early. You know what I'm saying? But I'm gonna see. I'm looking into like all the different types of conversion kits that's gonna exist. G, can you imagine a retrofitted, a retro mod, a 2037 retro mod? You know what I'm saying? You got a old school Chevy Caprice with a 2020 eight Tesla motor in it. You know what I'm saying? It's gonna be crazy, and I'm very intrigued to see how these things are used and how people really get into modding these things. Because, like, at the end of the day, tuner culture is not gonna go anywhere, and people want freedom. So something's gonna be developed that makes cars great again. Because
I
right
hope
now, gee, I hear the hype, but the fake exhaust note, not it for me, G.
Yeah, I don't
Car
know.
culture actually bullied Dodge into making the 6 pack because they have the new Dodge the Daytona, Dodge Daytona, and it was like, yeah, it's cool, but it don't got no motor. It ain't a Hemi. So Dodge was like, all right, we'll put a motor in it. So now the because it is made to have batteries, now the bottom of the car is so much higher because now they have to have a transmission in it that the car is like almost undrivable. It was funny. It's funny to see just how much of an influence people really do have just in car culture and frame of reference. And I think that's how a lot more other markets need to be too. But it'll be a matter of adoption and passion. Can we combine those two into networking? Can we combine those two into, you feel me, making economies boom and actually having a revolution as a result of this internet that we have access to? You see what I'm saying? I feel like it's just so underused.
It is. It definitely is.
This is truly world domination hours, man.
It is world domination hours, man. Oh yeah,
Oh,
I
good
totally
morning to
forgot
you.
about this weekend. Speaking of networks, I had the privilege of going down to Woodstock, Georgia, and meeting Nature Jab, Mr. Julian Brown, and Joe actually flew in from Costa Rica and was there too. Amazing guys. I didn't know it at the time, but I stumbled in on them actually inventing and designing the first mobile microwave paralysis machine that converts plastic into diesel fuel. So that was pretty cool. I was able to actually buy some supplies, help with that. I got some interviews with them. You know, definitely got some good networking
That's dope,
opportunities
bro.
there. Yeah, totally awesome. Super amazing guys, and everybody around. Like
And
we went to buy some parts at like a
people don't know, man. Julian
O'Reilly's.
Brown actually, that machine can process.
Yeah. I didn't even know he was a Chattanooga native either. So we're from the same hometown and everything, man. It's pretty cool.
This is back.
Yeah. Yeah. So everybody thinks he's from Chicago or whatever. But he said, no, he said, I just went and did like an event or something in Chicago. And then everybody started saying I was from Chicago. But
Hey, look, Chicago is a global city. Isn't that crazy though? The influence that we have is insane. And you know what's even interesting, more interesting? He was in Maywood. So he came to Maywood and they ran 2 vehicles. I think he ran the F-150s out there that day. And our cameraman, one of the photographers in our network, actually was out there that day in Maywood, Illinois. Eric, shout out to Eric Entertainment. You know what I'm saying? He was out there filming, and he met Nature Jab that day too. And it's just an interesting thing to just see everything develop. I wonder if he can make premium fuels. You feel me? So, but I know it's a diesel. I know it mainly makes diesel, but you know what I'm saying? What's the highest quality or refinement of fuel that we can make as a result of this process? And what precursor materials will be needed too? Because if it's at any way cost effective, then it could be implemented again, thinking like logistically. But yeah, seeing us being able to like really pull everything together off of networking and being able to like, you know what I'm saying, align our purposes is a powerful thing. I got a question for you though. Are you gonna run your truck off of some of the fuel? Or is your truck diesel? You know, you
No,
got
it's not
the Corvette.
diesel, but I did think about putting like a fuel cell in it and trying to maybe convert it. Or definitely building I'm about done with that truck, so I might buy another car and start building that. I actually talked to a guy yesterday about a Porsche Cayenne. He ended
Ooh,
up getting it.
that's
Yeah,
beautiful.
he ended up getting it for like I forget. He traded like some old ass truck and something else for it.
Real spill. All
Yeah.
right, you know what I'm saying. I was looking into a Volkswagen, probably like a Passat, because I know they got a decent diesel in them. You know what I'm
I
saying.
used to have a
But
Passat.
it
They're
was
good cars.
they're good decent. All right, yeah.
Yeah, they're
Because
good.
they say the transmission hold up good in them too, and there's a couple of diesel BMWs that go for real cheap on marketplace too that I was looking at. You know what I'm saying? But anything that has a D, I'd be willing to support just off of that. That's a good research and development project. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, man, it's definitely inspiring. I feel like the end result of some of the networking has definitely been planting a seed, and it's something that's going to allow us to grow even further. We got a lot of people that's excited about the work that we've been doing. And again, we all have understated the grandeur of some of the projects that we've been a part of, and I believe that it's just something that's come with time and being humbled to the fact that we can always learn more. There's always something more to explore. And I am taking the liberty to say we there, you know what I'm saying? But
Right.
in reality, I can tell from the actions. You feel me? Everybody here that's really watched some of the growth. You guys have no clue the level of conversation that's been sparked based off of
Yeah.
the impact that we see we have. And we appreciate everybody's support. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, for
Check
sure.
out all the links in my bio, Eric Alexander, again on
Definitely.
Facebook.
And go check out the art project.
I appreciate you, bro. Matter
Yeah,
of
man.
fact, hold on.
Yeah, might as well, right?
I had to heave ho real quick. There we go.
Yeah, man. There it is.
You know what I'm saying? Let me
There
see
it
if it
is.
look better with the lights off. No, it look better with the lights on it. You know what I'm saying? This is just one of many PBS on the side, established 2019, because that's when we came through with it. And this is the whatchamacallit, the stressed version of it. But there's many other versions. This one comes in two colors. It comes in like a beige, and also this, which is heather gray. You feel me? But we got a lot of other products coming out, a lot of other designs, and I put some love into it. This is embroidery, by the way, so it's gonna last you a good minute. This is no cheap quality. You feel me? Materials.
Yeah. I'm definitely waiting. I'm getting the corduroy for sure. I got a whole outfit together for it.
Going crazy. It's about to go. Look, G, I'm telling y'all, walling and styling, and the summertime coming up. Stop playing with us.
Yeah. It is amazing. E- Everything that we've accomplished. And for most of us, even though, a lot of us have been active and working on businesses and investments for years now, uh, most of us just kind of went public with a lot of the social medias, a lot of the online stuff, and networking in general. And what we've been able to accomplish over the last year has been just absolutely amazing. Most people never get to have private breakfasts with billionaires, much less a year into business and networking. And we just keep nailing it, man. We keep going, and we
World
couldn't have
domination.
done any of it without the networking.
World domination now is truly.
True.
This is really how we get it done. You know what I'm saying? And it's all pretty much open source for the most part. Like outside of the things that we have told you, when it gets really really detailed, there are paywalls. Don't get it twisted.
Yeah.
But anything that we can give to you without it hurting you is what we're able to give to you for sure for the free skis. Anything that I charge for is something that you have to have research, you have to know you want, and that you have to know that it has various results. But outside of that, man, anything that you can just go look up and get your due diligence or anything that never cost me anything, I'm not gonna do you dirty. I would prefer to work with people that's already understanding of the position that they're in. You feel me? And the advantages that they have. But if not, I will gladly highlight them to you as we get things done. But yeah, there's a lot of different ways that we can approach projects. Like you said, getting proposals out, uh, and also finding utility for some of the things that we've already previously done. Like this, like again, these last few months, compounded with the last 5-10 years of all of our collective experiences is really what I'm looking to harness and tap into to cure menticide. That's the systematic oppression of people's principles, beliefs, morality, and also I just feel like their social economic standing as well. You know what I'm saying? Like understanding how to apply their worth globally is going to be critical. And this is just for the massive audiences between me and you, brother, and all of us here, Chris and Chris. You see what I'm saying? uh, we we've got a lot of potential before us. Like the world is truly the oyster, and I feel grateful to have you guys uh, not only a part of this, but also you know what I'm saying, touching and inspiring me. You know what I'm saying in my real life. You feel me? This is legacy building. Truly, you know what I'm saying. And that can't be shown in just one thank you, but we got some years, man.
Yeah, man. Yes, we do.
Awesome.
Yeah.
All right,
Should be
guys,
awesome.
get off here. Awesome call.
Yeah, definitely, man. I'm glad we got on here and just shared some stuff. Uh, if you guys want to go ahead and tell everybody where they can reach you again, just so if anybody's interested in working with you guys or just checking out some products or services.
Instagram, the real Christopher Silva.
Go.
Real spill. Facebook primarily, Eric Alexander. All my links are there for the rest of it. You feel me?
Yeah. Wave maker on everything. You can go to the WealthWave Pro, wealthwave.pro website, get any of our services and access to the network. Of course, we got the lives coming all the time on Facebook, YouTube. See through the wave maker, man. You know what it is.